they are so afraid to say anything. And maybe it's the way she like looks at him and, you know, stares him down and gives these kind of threatening, she's taking names and she knows this. And then, but she'll say, you know, she's taking names and, you know, and Andy's like, who's on your side and whatever. And she goes, oh, I'm whatever with a low voice, I'm taking notes, you know, and then she wants to say like, these are my good friends and they could have come to me because we're such great friends, but she's taking notes. I mean,
That's
do you think any of those women consider themselves? I don't even wonder if Rena considers herself a good friend. Do you think any of those women seeing that personality would consider her a good friend?
Well, first of all, what you say about no, but what you say about, I literally sat there. It's so funny you say that about, I literally sat there and took a big note to myself. I'm like, Dorit and Kyle are literally shaking in their boots, scared right now on this stage. They were like, this was like Survivor, and Dorit and Kyle were like fighting for their lives. I'm like, because she said, I'm taking names and all this, right? That's the thing. It's like, you are making us despise you. Like, you literally, like, it's a question. You could answer this in so many ways, and your answer is possibly the one way that now everyone watching this now despises you as a human being. How is this an answer to a question that is not a normal answer? I'm right. Like, I'm taking names.
But why?
And then Andy asks, and she's like, I will keep that to myself. Thank you. Like, she's, I love how
that's like a psychological, like mind, like a mind fuck. Like she just wants to scare him. And what is she going to do? And they have like this thing where she, in their mind, where she had this money and she was married to this powerful attorney and everyone was like, she knows people. She could, you know, take us down, whatever. I mean, I don't understand why they're so afraid of her.
No, I don't. I'm telling you, I thought the same thing when Kyle is like, let me just say, because when she said, I'm taking names, and Kyle's like, well, but before she even finishes, Kyle's like, I have something to say. I'm like, oh, Kyle, like, why do you care? Why? Like, the public is on your side. I mean, at this point, when they're filming the reunion, you know that. Why does Kyle care? And then Dorit has to speak up. You don't see Sutton, and you got that desperation from no one except Dorit and Kyle, period.
Yeah, Sutton's, when they would cut away to Sutton's face, and her face was kind of like, yeah, she cracks me up.
I mean, I like her too. Garcelle is like, listen, she was very calm. She's like, why is it so inappropriate that we would be concerned? Like,
I love Garcelle's calmness about it. Garcelle she's not afraid. Garcelle is not having it. In a couple of times, I saw Garcelle look at her with, I mean, just this blank, flat stare. Like, in my head, I was thinking Garcelle was saying to herself, are you flipping kidding me?
Yeah.
She's like a bad, I was trying to think of like the character. She's like Mae West, like a modern day Mae West, where she like kind of talks, you know, and she does a hand and the voice goes down to here, and she's like giving the idle threats and all, you know, and she turns her head, and it's all kind of like, I thought, I mean, who does she think is drinking this Kool-Aid? But they are afraid of her. They're afraid of her.
Well, that's where it's like, there are housewives that are no longer there. And you're like, well, this one's gone because they were rude to Andy. Like, I mean, you know, it's more complicated than that, but like the way she turns and speaks to Andy is no better. She's like, no. I'll get back to you when I'm ready with the list or whatever.
But I think he likes that about her. I think that was kind of like her little sassy thing that he probably liked before, the way she's kind of like had this like F you attitude. But now it's lost. It's not whatever upscale sassiness it was, it's gone. She's like a freaking modern day cheap Mae West to me now. That's what I thought. I wasn't seeing LA Confidential. I was seeing Mae West, but not in a good way. She's drinking an old fashioned and getting sauced up. And
well, here's the other thing about Bravo. I mean, and I'm not coming for them. I'm just telling, you know how it works. Like, when they're done, they're done. Like, the doors, you're like, your bags are thrown out, like, and the doors slammed. So
Sure.
I just think like eventually, if nobody is going to film with you, like nobody likes you, it's you on an island. It's happened in other franchises and the public is so against you. And then the story is just old. Like eventually, now nobody listening right now is bored because they'd like us to talk for the next 4 hours or 17 years. But eventually, like things change by the end of a whole season. So by the end of next season, maybe not, maybe we'll have what, but eventually when this story is over and people are done, they're like, I am so sick of it. And nobody wants to be around her. Bravo is going to kick her out on her ass. It might be 3 seasons, whatever it is. And that she'll be persona non grata. Like there'll be no coming back.
Sure.
It's not even like you did something bad. We're so morally shocked and there's victims. It's going to be like, the people hate you. Your castmates hate you. Your story's run its course. Get out. It's literally going to be a business decision. Really. I'm sorry.
It's funny because I was thinking in my head, is there anything she could do to kind of plan for the future? Because, I don't know, 3-4 years, it's done, right? At most. So what could she sell? Like, what could she come up with? She's not going to do the lip glosses because that's kind of Rena's thing. What could she do to like make some money and plan for a rainy day? Who wants anything that is sold by her right now? So she really couldn't come out with something for at least a good year. I mean, I don't know. So what is she? There's no career. There's no musical career. The biggest thing that could happen is that she comes up with a guy that gives her a story, brings his own bit of a entertainment shit show, and they can turn that into something. She's not having kids. She's not going to get a regular job. She doesn't have a career. And I'm not saying it to like knock her down. Like, I'm not saying this now, like I'm just stating a fact.
This is just how business works.
This is just what it is. This
like,
is just what it is. No QVC or HSN is going to touch her with the 10-foot pole. So if she came up with a brand new, Erika Jayne weave,
no, it would have to be like a true, like, which is not going to happen, like a true product, like where you go on Shark Tank, like some real revolutionary products where you're like, this product is brilliant. Right. That's not like, that's not going to happen, but like, like, but that, right. There's no branding Erika Jayne. It needs to be like, no one even knows you're part of this. The product is so brilliant that it solves a purpose. Like, but that's not going to happen. No. I don't know. And, the thing is like, if like, there's no book, there's no tell-all. It's like your word, which no one believes. So do you know what I'm saying? Like when it's over, what is the tell-all? Which I said before, there is no what is the tell-all? Like Teresa Giudice went to prison. She wrote about being in prison. That is interesting when you're on reality TV. Like, what's Erika's story? Like, tell all, well, I didn't know anything, period. It's going to be one sentence. I mean, she's not going to say you know what I mean? Like, there's no big reveal for her even.
No.
So, I mean,
I don't see the way out right now. I mean, it's a little bit of a quagmire. Right now, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel other than riding out this thing, the divorce, the Girardi lawsuits. She's got to milk this for everything. And I don't even see how, when she said that she's going on Instagram and posting these things because she's getting paid. Come on, you're not getting paid for those things. I don't see anything on there. I mean, I don't follow her, but I'm assuming, and I can look it up, that she's not getting paid for saying, eat my whatever.
And I think she had one, or like, I think Fenty, like Rihanna's spot. Like, I think people dropped her too, which makes sense. Like Fenty dropped her, which is Rihanna's. Right. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, that's where it's like, there's no big picture. Like, I get hanging on to your job, but why aren't you now, like, I don't know, why aren't you marketing yourself for the future and
what could you do though? But that's what I'm trying to say. What would you market under? What genre, venue, what is she selling? Or what could she come up with?